And whew, I apologize for being tardy for the party, but man, goodness gracious. All right, so yeah, I'm about 5 minutes behind. I apologize again. Let me stop flinging this hair before I hit this candle. But anyway, man, okay, so I used to do Bible studies on live, and I had a whole setup and all the things, and I was like, okay, I don't know why, but I'm like really nervous you're actually over here, really nervous for my YouTube uh live debut. I don't think I've ever done a YouTube live. Like I will upload Bible study videos, they'll be edited, all of that, but like a YouTube live I don't know why I'm so like about it. I do Instagram lives all the time. I think it's because I'm not as familiar with the platform as I am with the Instagram platform. And yeah, yeah. So you see my light bulb in the back? I don't know why it's not against the lady. Let's see if I can. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, welcome. This is different for me, so bear with me. Oh my gosh. All right. Let me stop touching my hair. I don't even know why I'm touching it. I think because it's just in the way. But anyway, so what's up? Welcome to the background view. Welcome to me, Tanikka Charraé. I am here. This feels so weird, like, because it's like right in front of me, but the camera's kind of over here. Yeah, so I have to figure out how to get my camera working. I didn't want to go live from my laptop because the camera not even the camera, but the laptop is just running like a little slower than usual, which is part of the reason why I'm having difficulties and a little angst with me now because my laptop gave me is behind the case. And that's okay. Anyway, so welcome. This is my first YouTube live. That's first of all. And it's my first YouTube live regarding the background view. So earlier I went live on Instagram, and today's theme is um, the steps. How do I phrase it? The first steps in becoming. Because look, I got notes, y'all. I'm not playing. Okay, I'm out here to educate, and I'm out here to really truly give you guys good information, true information, and I really took my time in spelling all this out as I typically do. I'm very intentional with my moves. But anyway, the first steps in becoming a professional singer. So we talked on YouTube, on Instagram, discussing the first steps in becoming a professional singer being your mindset. You have to change your mindset. And the main thing that I was just saying was like, you have to look at yourself as a business. You have to look at yourself as a professional business. And the moment that you look at yourself as a professional business, you start to change how you move. I think, the difference between being a musician / more so a singer, because I'm speaking specifically to the singers, but the difference in being a singer entrepreneur versus a regular entrepreneur, a lot of times entrepreneurs have products, right? They have an actual thing that they're selling. They have an actual thing that they're promoting. They have an actual thing that they're marketing. They have an actual thing that is a brand. And in that, you don't necessarily have to see past anything. You don't have to like pay attention to the person who created it. I mean, if you don't want to, depending on the brand, sometimes the brand does include the creator. But there's an actual tangible product. So when we talk about the voice, you see the person, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna just be out there and I'm gonna just have fun and I'm gonna just do my thing and I'm gonna just be myself, and all that's cool. That's a part of your brand. Yet at the same time, your instrument and your voice and all of that need to be taken seriously. And the way that you do that is understand that while your instrument is attached to you and your body, you are in fact still a business. I'll say it like that. Yeah, you're still a business. So it's really important to distinguish between that, like me, Tanikka, right? Okay, Tanikka Charraé, the person, versus Tanikka Charraé, the singer, background singer, vocal producer, two different entities, and I have to handle them two different ways. So the main thing that we really discussed, like I said, was you have to change your mindset. And the changing of the mindset starts in understanding that you are a business, and understanding that you being a business is what is going to separate you from people who just be like, oh, I just be singing, you know, because you're going to handle yourself a lot differently. Some of the examples that we gave earlier is like, you know, for me, I stopped smoking because God told me to stop smoking. But prior to that, I was like smoking. I was living the whole rock star life. Yet at the same time, it was encroaching on my ability to perform well. Like my voice was dried out. I sounded crazy, like straight up. So, you know, you have to understand that, yeah, you can have fun, yeah, you can do certain things, but you gotta be real with yourself. You have to really recognize that this is your instrument. This is the thing that you take to the audition. This is the thing that you are allowing people to hear. And if you're not treating it well, or if it's not showing up one day, honey, that is on you. So you have to treat yourself as a business. And when you treat yourself as a business, you're going to move a lot differently. So like I was saying earlier, I recognize that I need rest, right? So I can't be out here all willy-nilly, hours on hours on hours up singing or just doing whatever I want to do, and then having to get up early and then thinking that I'm going to be able to perform at my optimal performance. Like, that's just unrealistic. So, excuse me, I say, you know, I got a gig, I can't hang out late, I can't go to, I mean, not that I would be now anyway, but, you know, I can't be around a bunch of smoke because it does actually affect me a lot. I can't do this, I can't do that. And you're really honestly just making really smart business choices. You're making decisions based on what is going to maximize your business. I gave the example of McDonald's earlier. You know, McDonald's understands, I mean, their brand technically is the American dream, if you will. And so there's a lot of that branding throughout all of their everything. So wherever you go across America, you see the Golden Arches, and you see and you know about all of these things that are attached to McDonald's, and they don't compromise that. So why would you compromise yourself as a singer, as a business singer? So you have to look at it that way. They've got the proper marketing set up. They got a whole marketing department. They've got a legal department. They've got an HR department. And I'm not saying that those are the things that you need to have right away. Yet at the same time, I'm trying to say that the way that you see other businesses, successful businesses, run and work, that's the way that you have to work too. And obviously you have to curtail it to what that looks like for singing. You know, obviously I'm not flipping hamburgers and selling hamburgers. Yet at the same time, I see that McDonald's stays ahead of the curve. I see at the same time that McDonald's now has a healthy option. I see that McDonald's, when they undergo scrutiny, they get in front of it really, really quickly. And not that I have had any of those problems. Yet, let's just say hypothetically, we're thinking of, I don't know, Rihanna. Rihanna, you know, gets ahead of any type of scrutiny, or, you know, she operates like a business, and you should be doing the same thing too. No matter how big you are, no matter how many people do or don't know you, that is the first thing. Changing your mindset on you understanding that you are a business. I cannot drive this point home. And when I was speaking to some of the folks earlier, they were like, yo, that's like so true. Like, they were getting it. They was like, yo, that's like real. And so when you understand it in that capacity, you start to move a lot different. And when you start to move a lot different, you start to be surrounded by like-minded people that move the same way. You start to be around folks who are actually in the music business and who actually operate as a business. So same is true for you. So that was the very, 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 very first thing that we discussed. Basically, you're a business, and change your mindset to believe that you're a business. You're not just a singer. You are a business. I'm getting all discombobulated with this camera. Next live, I'm gonna have it way more together, okay? Because right now, I don't even know if my audio is gonna come through, guys. This is still a really crucial first live, so don't just chalk it, but just know better lives are to come, okay? All right, so let's get into the YouTube of becoming a professional singer. So, um, Instagram, we gave the first initial step. So I guess technically, you know, there's 6 major steps. 6 isn't my favorite number, 7 kind of is. So I guess I have to come up with another one. But there's 6 major steps in becoming a professional singer. I'm sure I could think of a 7th. You know, if I think of one at the end, I'll throw that out there. However, in this live, we're going to discuss 5 major steps in becoming a professional singer. Yes, I said it. And so earlier, you know, I had people on live and they were just like, are you only going to tell us to change our mindset? And I was just kind of like, oh, that's kind of a big part. But no, I'm not only going to tell you to change your mindset. There's levels to this. And yes, I'm going to, you know, take this summer to really break down all the things that I learned as a professional singer and all the things that I've applied and still apply to this day. So let me just give you some background on me. My name is Tanikka Charraé. I am a professional singer. I sing background for a lot of your favorite artists. And I have been an indie artist as well. Still am an indie artist. I'm going to past tense that. An indie artist as well. And I also have a vocal agency called The Background View, which is, it's View, spelled VU, and VU actually stands for Voices United. But nonetheless, I created that agency about 5 or 6 years ago because I really wanted to help bridge the gap and become the liaison between elite vocalists and artists. I just felt like I'm from Philadelphia, or as I said earlier, I affectionately call the Philadelphia. And, you know, it's just a city full of extremely talented people, from the musicians to the singers to the artists. It's just really, really packed with a lot of culture. And one of the things that I noticed once I started really getting into the music industry was that there was just so much talent that was still around, but a lot of people just didn't have the opportunity to make those connections. So with The Background View, I link elite vocalists. And I use that word elite on purpose because, you know, it's really important to be good at what you do, but not just good at what you do, but also really professional as well. So, yeah, I use the adjective elite on purpose because, I mean, this is a dog eat dog industry. It is very competitive. There are people who are just good, but I want well-rounded, all around good, and very vocally, or vocally good people, vocally good performing singers as well. So yeah, created that. And in addition to acting as a liaison between artists and elite backing / supporting vocalists, I'm also a teacher. So I educate as well. And I really I'm really passionate about educating singers specifically, obviously, because I am a singer. But I want singers to really experience financial freedom. And, you know, I don't use that in a way that, like, I think that it's overused, if you will. But what I mean is, like, I want people to be able to pursue their dreams as a singer and still, I guess, compete would be the word to kind of slide in there, with folks that are working a 9 to 5. So I think that a lot of people think that when they take the creative route, they're never going to be able to own a home. They're never going to be able to have investments. They're never going to be able to have a lot of things that's awarded to folks who have a more stable occupation. And that's just simply not true. And I think that people just need to be taught. They just need to understand what is necessary to actually live those things out, specifically as a creative, specifically as a vocalist. So, like I said, The Background View was created to really bridge the gap and serve as a liaison between artists and elite vocalists, while simultaneously we like to educate on financial wisdom, if you will, as well as just being able to leverage and live and stay and become a professional vocalist. And yeah, here we are. Here we are with our first live on what's the first steps on becoming a professional singer. We got to start somewhere, right? So the 5 steps that I'm going to break down for you today on YouTube Some of them might seem like common sense, and I explained this earlier on the live on Instagram. Some of the things may seem like common sense, right? But there's times where you hear something that you think is like, oh my gosh, I could have did that. But are you applying it? And have you applied it? Have you ever applied it? And have you yielded results from it? If you have, I think it's really easy to become really critical. I think it's really easy to become really cynical and not necessarily take the steps. I always say it's really easy to believe in yourself and think, oh, I'm a superstar, I'm a this, I'm a that. I was reading some of my bio stuff and it was like superstar in training, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was so lame. But I was just reading some of my stuff and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so annoying. But the truth is that really to get to the top, like here's the top, you got to kind of climb there. There's a lot of people that are given the top, and a lot of times you see a lot of public falls. And obviously we don't want that on anybody. I personally don't want that on anybody. Yet I'm a very firm believer that a lot of these steps that are taken and need to be taken is kind of what's teaching you to actually get to the next level and stay on the next level. I always like to liken it to Super Mario, because Super Mario Brothers is everything. And when you think about going from level 1 to level 2, right, you have to get the mushroom to become a bigger Mario. If you don't get the mushroom, you're not able to go down the dungeon and do whatever it is that you need to do. You got to get the fireballs to pass another level. You got to get, so it's like these things that you need, and you have to actually go through the board to acquire the stuff that you need to get to the next level. So the same is true in life in general. And I think that we're in a generation where people just want to kind of skip to the next level, like real quick. They just kind of want to get on up there. And so they're missing a lot of key elements and tools. So I say that to say that if you could listen to what it is that I'm building a foundation on, like I'm literally building this thing from scratch, because I really want people to get all the different elements and really apply them. So without further ado, I was like a really long issue. How long is that? 17 and a half minutes. Ooh, wow. I mean, but I said a lot. But without further ado, the very first step that I believe, aside from what we talked about earlier in terms of changing your mindset, we've moved now to YouTube, the YouTube section. Like I said, I got notes. The very first step that I would say about becoming a professional singer is to get your business in order. Yes, you heard me. Get your business in order. It's really important to have your business in order. What do I mean by that? So I have a little breakdown here. It says finances, talent, look, and brand. So again, this is like, okay, Tanikka, you're not really saying a lot of stuff. Nah, bruh, let me break it down. Let me tell you why it's really, really important. It's important to get your finances in order. It's important to set up how you're going to function. One, because right now, if you are just starting out as a singer, you have to lay the groundwork for yourself, and you have to develop these habits now, or you're going to have horrible habits later. You have to have your business lined up now, or it's going to wear you out playing catch up with it later. Like you have to do a bunch of this stuff now, like you just do. And it seems like, oh, I mean, yeah, like whatever. But it's like, no, you want to do it now. If you want to be able to leverage and live life like people who have 9-to-5s do. And I don't mean that in a way because somebody's back there listening and they're just like, I don't want to live like somebody who got a 9-to-5, or I would have just got a 9-to-5. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is people with 9-to-5s who have worked 9-to-5s for 3 to 5 years can go out, they can get credit, they can go out, they can buy a car, they can go out, they can show pay stubs, they can go out, they can do all of these different things that creatives are not necessarily in a position to do if they have not set their stuff up properly. So it is very important to get in a habit of certain things, because what happens is, and I've done this, I can speak on this, right? In the beginning, you're just getting mad money. Oh my gosh, I'm getting money at the money at the money. Woo, 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 woo. And you're getting this bulks and bulks and bulks of money. and you aren't paying any taxes. You aren't, you're just getting all of your money. You're getting all gross, right? You're not putting anything aside. So, you buying all the Gucci, you buying all the Fendi, would be Fendi in my case. You fly, sharp as a tack, right? You got all the newest Apple products, you got the newest laptop, you got the newest phone, you got the newest watch, you got the hashtag new, right? You got all the things. And maybe you've kicked some money to the side and paid your rent and put 2 months or so to the side. Okay, kudos to you, right? And you thinking like, yo, I'm killing it. I still got all this money left over. And then you go to file your taxes. And one of two things are happening here. You go to file your taxes and your tax preparer is like, all right, you can write a lot of this stuff off because most of this has to do with your job and how you work. So it's like, all right, cool, bet, write it off then. That's cool. Like that, there's nothing wrong with that because you're able to actually do it. Except for then when you go, oh, I want to buy this house, or oh, I want to get this investment property. And they're like, hey, show us 2 years of your taxes. And you're reflecting an income of $10,000. And they're like, you can't afford this house. And you're like, oh my gosh, bro, I totally can. Like I'm having stacks on stacks on stacks. And but they're like, yeah, but it's not proven here. You need 2 years of tax returns, or worse case scenario. You don't even got your tax situation together. Uncle Sam come knocking on your door. You owe us money. And you're like, wait, what? Well, what? You want to get in, you do not want to set yourself up. In addition to that, the other scenario would be, okay, you go to file your taxes and you're like, all right, I'm going to just file this amount. I can write off this, I can write off this, I can write off this. And then you get hit with a tax bill. And the tax bill is $22,000. And you're like, I ain't put no money aside for no tax bill. That happened to me before. I went to go purchase another investment property. So I planned. I was smart enough to plan ahead of time. Like, all right, cool. I made this amount of money, so I made a decent amount of money. I know I can write off a lot of this stuff, but I need to reflect that I'm making this certain amount of money. So let me just not do that. And I went to my tax preparer lady, shout out to Miss Cora, and she was like, all right, girl, this is so wonderful, great. Yeah, you owe the government such and such amount of dollars. Let's just say it wasn't under 20,000. And it was well over 20,000. And I was like, what? So I was just thinking to myself, like, some of this money is used for my down payment. Some of this money is used for my savings. Some of this money is used for blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, no, Uncle Sam one day bread. If you're not putting money aside for taxes, you're setting yourself up. If you are putting money aside for taxes, that's amazing. You just really, really have to have the self-discipline to be sure that the people whose money that is, aka Uncle Sam, gets it. And yeah, that seems like such a trite thing, but it's a real thing. Another thing, I kind of touched on it 2 seconds ago, but you don't have anything set up, right? You're not operating under an LLC. You're not operating under anything, rather. And you're trying to get, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like the best case scenario or the worst case scenario would technically be. You go to try and file taxes and they're like, yo, you got to file like 3 years of taxes. And how are you going to file? You're going to file it yourself. And then if you file it yourself, you need to reflect this, that, and the third. Because like when you are under something, like I have an LLC. I have several LLCs. But when you're filing under an LLC, there's just certain moves that you can make with that. You pay yourself, there's just a way that you can operate. I mean, it's kind of interchangeable, but at the same time, you want to be able to show that you're a business. And it shows that you are a professional business. Like people start to take you seriously. Oh, you took the time to go and get you an LLC. Oh, okay. This ain't just a hobby for you. oh, you actually are making money from this, and you are representing yourself as a business. Okay, that you start to be taken more seriously. You start to be able to leverage yourself a little bit differently. So it's really important that you set yourself up. Sorry guys, I'm getting all types of alerts, but that you set yourself up properly, even down to having a business account. You know, you want to be able to reflect and show how you move and how you operate. You want to be able to separate money. You want to be able to um, really stand alone as a business, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of things that I wish somebody taught me or told me earlier. You want to be able to, you know, when I had my clothing, I still have it, but having my clothing line, I had a clothing line credit card, I had a clothing line bank account, just a whole different entity. And to this day, I now have business credit just off of Pretty Soul. So, and it wasn't like, you know, I blew all the way up. I was, you know, doing well. Yet at the same time, I was taken seriously as a business because I operated as a business. And that's the same thing you want to do as a singer. So get your finances in order, okay? I really just touched on that. Like I skipped past that kind of. But I'm hoping that that plants some seeds in some of you guys' heads and minds and hearts. Getting an LLC, getting a I would actually encourage you to look at all the corporation breakdowns and see which one works for you. Usually an LLC is a limited liability is usually really helpful, and a lot of musicians and entrepreneurs operate with an LLC. So there may be another one that might be a little more beneficial for you and what you're trying to do. So I would encourage you though to look into that, set that up. You can set it up. You can actually go downtown to like your local. I don't want to say downtown because I'm in Philadelphia, so y'all might not be in Philly, and that y'all might not have a downtown. But you can go to, I guess, your city hall or wherever that is. You can file it down there if you want. You can go online. I'm talking about LegalZoom. You can literally just punch in following an LLC or following an S corp or following, you know, whatever, a corporation, however you want to go about doing it. And you can find how to do it yourself. You don't have to pay anybody to do it. You have to pay to get it, to do it, but you don't have to pay anyone to do it. They will, you know, walk you through on how to do it. And I think once you file, your filing is on, like it's shown, like you can have proof that, okay, hey, I filed this. And you might, you could go open you up an account. You need to put some money in there, obviously. But yeah, it's important to get your finances in order. And a lot of this is geared around finances, not today's subject, but just the different things that I have learned regarding singing and business. I want to really get people to get their business together. Because once you get your business together, you can kind of move how you want to move. You just have to be smart about it and be wise about it and think ahead about it. And I think that's a lot of things that people aren't necessarily taught, or they don't know what to do, so they don't do it. So yeah, get you an EIN number. Like I have an EIN number. I want to say in Philly, at one point, they were free. Like you literally was just like, I need an EIN number. And it was like, all right, cool. Like I think I have like 4 EIN numbers because I have like 4 LLCs. So yeah, get you an EIN number. It's your business's, it's like your business's social security number. So yeah, I hope that made sense. And I hope y'all really do it because you really want to be protected. You really want to be, you want to be operating as a business, yo. You are not a drug dealer that is like secretly like depositing $9,999 in the bank account because you know that 10,000 is going to alert the government. Like, no, you are a legitimate business, so you should be operating as a legitimate business. One thing is, people are not, it's not only just the people that are going to start taking you seriously. That's cool, that's wonderful, but it's you that's going to start taking you seriously. And a lot of that ties into what I was talking about earlier, your mindset. You're a business, and once you start thinking about yourself as a business, you're going to operate differently as a business. You're going to move differently as a business. And this is all really important. I mean, I had to figure out how to turn these alerts off. All right. So I kind of like dug that point home. Another thing, your talent. You know, you want to get your talent in order. You want to get your look and your brand in order. Now, I want to touch on brand. I mean, I think, talent and look is kind of relative and self-explanatory, if you will. But you want to get your brand in order. Now, this doesn't mean that you're like, yo, this is exactly who I'm going to be. Because even just going back to the example of Rihanna, when she first came out, she was like the Caribbean girl and the R&B Caribbean girl. And it was like, oh, okay, cool, Rihanna, R&B Caribbean girl, get it, girl. And then at one point, she evolved into the good girl gone bad. So she was like that girl that said whatever, the girl that was, really, really pretty, and at the same time had like that spunk about her and that thing about her, and that's kind of been her brand. Like that started to really stick and becoming her brand. So I'm not saying that you need to have it all figured out in terms of your brand. Now, what I am saying is it is important to have an idea of your brand and to set up boundaries and know what you will and won't do. So that's what I mean, more or less, I should say, about your brand. Especially if you're just an independent artist, say you're not doing background singing, say you're not, doing wedding band singing, say you're not doing residency singing, say you're not doing hotel singing, say you're not doing any of these other singers, and say you're really just like trying to drive it home as a singer, like a solo act. You want to kind of have an idea of your brand, because here's an example. Say you're like, okay, I'm like the girl next door, right? That's my brand. So, I got round the way vibes all day, right? I got, bamboo earrings. I got, like baggy jeans a little bit, but like a little bit of a midriff. Like, I'm still kind of shy and a little bit reserved, but at the same time, I still let you know what it is. I don't know what roundaway girl I'm thinking about. Maybe myself. I don't know. But say your brand is this roundaway girl, right? And you're like, you write songs about roundaway girl. I am an roundaway girl. I don't know. Say you do all the things. And then you have a producer that approaches you and goes, yo, I can make you a star. And you're like, you made me a star? Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Well, what do you mean? What are we talking about here? And he's like, yo, all you gotta do though, like the way I see, like like my vision for you is like, I don't know if this is DJ Khaled, I'm not really sure, but either way, my vision for you is like, you gotta wear like booty shorts, and you gotta wear like bikini tops all the time. You always in stilettos. You're like, yeah, but my thing is like the ones. Like I'm always in a J. Like that's like kind of my brand. That's my thing. Nah. You need to be in booty shorts where like half your booty is hanging out. You need to be in bikini tops. And you need to be singing the ratchetest of ratchet stuff right now, because that's what's in and that's what's gonna get you to the top. And if you're not strong enough in what you believe or want your brand to be, how you want to be perceived, say you give into bootleg DJ Khaled. And bootleg DJ Khaled takes advantage of you, right? And you get back on the right foot and you're kind of like, all right, I'm done with DJ Khaled, bootleg DJ Khaled, I'm doing my own thing now. And then all of a sudden, everybody knows you as the girl with the booty shorts and the bikini top and the stilettos, singing about Richie. Yo, I F your man, I F my man, I F all the men. And you like, but that's not even me. That's not even my style. That's not even my thing. That's not what I want to do. But you getting calls about it. All the hood rappers want to put you on a hook and a verse, and somebody might be like, well, I mean, if that's what I got to do to get my foot in the door. You want to have a standard. You want to have an idea of what lines you will and won't cross. I mean, I hope there's no lines you'll cross regardless. But that comes in actually understanding your brand. So like for me, if we talk about my brand as an independent artist is I'm very witty with the pen, right? So I sing and I rap. So a lot of my singing songs are kind of like rap songs too. Not because I think I'm Drake and I'm out here singing rap songs. It's just because the way I write like a rapper as an R&B singer as well. While at the same time, I rap as well too. But I'm clean, right? So my style is clean. You know, I love shoes. So you always gonna catch me in a real fly shoe. I like baggy jeans, but at the same time, I like me a real cute fitted pant as well. I like me stilettos, but I like me some sneaks. But you're always gonna catch me in a really, really dope shoe. And my other brand, or not my other brand, but on top of that, like I like to say, oh, I'm a fly girl. I got a song called Fly Girl, right? And it's the double entendre of flying all the way, or flying all around the world, and still being fly at the same time too. So you're going to see me in different countries. You're going to see me in different places. You're going to see me doing all these different things because it's part of my brand. I'm a fly girl, right? A lot of people didn't even know that I was from Philly for a long time, unless you knew me and you knew me from Philly. But a lot of people didn't know that I was from Philly because I was never here. and it wasn't that I wasn't even representing it. I'm proud to be from Philly. Yet at the same time, it wasn't quite a part of my brand. And it wasn't like I was doing that on purpose. It was just that the brand kind of took over. Oh, Nick, you ain't never home. Oh, Nick, you always at someplace, or you always here, you always doing that. And it's not that. That's the thing. I was like, whoop, whoop, you know, like pump faking on Instagram on that was my life. And those are the parts that I highlighted because it went well with my brand, or it goes well with my brand. So in moving forward, you know, it attaches itself to you and how you move and what you do and how you are. So going back to the example with the poor girl, you know, it's really challenging to come out of those misbranded eras, if you will, because now, like I said, all the rappers is calling her up and they want her in the studio and they want her to do such and such, and they want her, and she's like, yo, that's not even me, that's not what I want to do, like that's not my sound, that's not my style. So it's really important to know yourself, because people will take advantage of you the moment they know that they can, the moment they know that it's easy to, they will. They out here, they're prowling on the next best thing and how they can make them what they want them to be. So it's important to know you enough. Like I said, I'm not saying have it all figured out, but know you enough that when bootleg DJ Khaled comes along, he's like booty, 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 booty everywhere. Like you're like, no, that's not me. And be confident enough in being able to be like, nah, like I'm not subscribing to that just to get my foot in the door. Like then I always have to do that. So hopefully that is helpful. And the same is true for men. I gave an example for a woman, but the same is true for men. Like, you know, if, say, hypothetically, you know, they're trying to put you in this thug, you know, you the thug Jaheim singer, R&B singer, and you're like, but I'm not, you know. I literally am, like, I got a little Maxwell vibe to me, you know. There's like a little, I really don't like this term, but I want to use it just for the sake of explaining what I'm trying to explain. But like, you know, there's a little metrosexual vibe to me where, you know, I enjoy dressing like a tailored man and still like wearing suits that fit and aren't oversized, or, you know, wearing pants that are a little more tailored and custom, because, you know, my vibe is more gentlemanly. Like, I'm not a thug. Don't think you gotta be Jaheim just to get your foot in the door. Like, you don't know. Could it be the chromed out whips, break your neck when you see me doing dips? Is that the words? Or is it on the ice you see? That's not you. You ain't got no ice. You don't have no chromed out whip. You ain't never smoked a joint in your life, let alone sold it, you know? So don't get caught up. Like, because what happens is this, like in the industry, they see a blank canvas of something. Oh, you've got talent and potential. I'm going to marry those two and create my own thing. And we are in an age where that doesn't have to hold true anymore. That doesn't have to be the thing anymore. So if that's not what you're feeling, don't do it. Don't. Don't do it. All right, so that's point number 1. Get your business, finances, talent, look, brand in order. Okay? Something falling over there? Number 2. Get on a practicing schedule. Now, some people will, I don't practice. I don't gotta do such and such. I don't like some people, and I mean like professional singers will be like, oh, I don't do all of that. And I don't, I don't have to do all of that. Bruh, it's such a good habit to get in. Get you on a practicing schedule. Get you on a practicing schedule. One, because you get to a space where you are really complacent, right? Okay, I can sing in this range, and I can sing right here, and I know that if I do this with my voice and I do this with my voice, I know exactly the outcome of it. But don't you want to challenge yourself, and not like live and in real time in front of people, just in case it doesn't stick or land? Don't you want to like expand what it is that you're able to actually do? Like, that's what's going to, like, again, it goes back to the mentality. Like, I'm trying to tell you, when you change your mental on what type of singing and singer you are, it changes everything else. If I'm a professional singer, here you go. Perfect example. Thanks, God. Perfect example. When you look at these athletes, do they wake up and they go, I'm good, you know? Number 1 pick in my draft. Yeah. Gym? What do I need to go to the gym for? Lift the weight? What do I need to lift the weight for? Run drills? What do I need to run drills for? And that same person who acts like that, their replacement is right around the corner. You don't want that. You want longevity in this thing. You want, I don't know why I felt the need to put some lip gloss on right now. You want to be here. You know, this is, like, I find it important to educate you on how to get the gig and how to keep the gig. And keeping the gig, this is your job. This is your profession. So I've likened it to an athlete, which is an easy comparison. Something going on here. An easy comparison, because it's like they gotta still practice. We look at Kobe. Kobe was legitimately in that gym competing against himself, and that's the other thing. Be the Kobe. Be the vocal Kobe. Like, don't do the comparison game like I did. Again, I'm telling you, all of this stuff came from my own experience as well. Don't do the comparison thing of paying attention to what they're doing, paying attention to what they're doing. I'm still not doing such and such. Then I need to make you your own competitor. Like, outdo your thing you did last time. It's so important to get on a practicing schedule. I remember at the beginning of my singing career, I had the mentality of like, bro, I'm just gonna show up and I got the gig and let me just sing. And I'm gonna say I was winging it, but I just wasn't. I didn't have the mentality that this was what I did for a profession at this time. I was just like, man, I got chosen. That's awesome. I sing. I would listen to the stuff that we would rehearse, just because I'm kind of that personality. But like drilling it, running it, and I'm talking about when I was doing background singing. Now when I do songwriting, if you're a songwriter, oh, there it goes. Whatever that was. Is that like my lash? I don't know. If you are a songwriter, you want to practice writing songs. If you're a vocal producer, you want to get in here and play around with these harmonies. You want to do these covers. You want to change these different arrangements. If you're a background singer, you want to learn people's backgrounds, right? I'm saying that, like, say hypothetically, you're like, oh my gosh, all I ever wanted to do was be a background singer. I don't know, say you want to be Beyonce's background singer. Learn all the Beyonce songs. I'm not saying I don't believe in manifestation. I'm not saying that this is you manifesting anything. What I'm saying is you are acting as a business, and so you're going to start to see what that looks like and what that means. I remember I had a singer, and I told her, I was just like, you were just kind of ill-prepared for the rehearsal. You need to, if I was told that I was getting this gig, even just as a rehearsal, even just if it were just a studio session, I am learning everything that this artist has ever put out if I don't know it. That is like how you prepare. That is how you become professional. That is how you keep yourself on or in not in competition, but you keep yourself competitive. You keep yourself in the running. And it's important that you move that way and you act that way. So, yeah, I mean, have a practicing schedule. I didn't really practice today, if I'm honest, because I've been this YouTube thing dragged me today. But you know, I do covers, I do songs. It's important to do warm-ups. It's important to do all of these things because your voice, it's like a lot of muscle memory. So when you're singing and you're doing these different things, like even at sound check, I'll play around at sound check and do different things at sound check because it's an opportunity to, there's always an opportunity to get better. And you want to be sure that you're in the A game. You are in the league right now. You're in the no matter what type of singing you're doing, you have to look at it as you are in the league and you want to stay in the league. What do I need to do to stay there then? I'm just saying. All right, number 3, content schedule. Now, your girl over here, super guilty of not being great at this. I mean, super guilty. Yet, you know, on the path of doing and being better. What it is for me is I have to batch my content because doing social media at times could be kind of taxing and overwhelming for me. I honestly would rather be vocal producing or singing or, you know, whatever else that professional singers do. Yet at the same time, having a content schedule is really important. Why? Because if people don't know you and what you're doing and what you, how you sing and what, you know, what you got going on, or they don't hear you, they forget about you, or they just don't even know. You can tell them that you're a singer till you're blue in the face, but they don't remember you. Like I have a friend, her name is Lee Mo. Shout out to Lee. Her voice is so beautiful. And when I tell you that thing be on, just a singing and a singing and a going and a singing, like she's so good. And I really enjoy hearing her and hearing her sing. So when people say, hey, Lee Mo, it's not even like she's the most popular singer in the world, right? But what it is that they know her to be a singer because she's always singing. And she puts the content out. Like, the people know, they're like, oh, she'll be a singing, right? Because she's quick to just put her content out and just be singing. She doesn't make it like a whole production if it doesn't have to be. But she's good on the practicing. She's good on the, hey guys, remember me? Yep, right here in your face. You want to be like that. You want to be like that. Like I said, I am guilty of not doing. I have like 4 covers just in the arsenal right now that I needed to put out weeks ago. And you know what? Right now, this is even convicting me. I need to put them out. But people need to hear what you can do, or people are never going to know what you can do. They're never going to know how good you are. They're never going to know like what you got going on. And when you create a content schedule and you really stick to it and do it, then it also shows your professionalism and your seriousness about it. Because people, they're not going to fully take you seriously, especially when you're just starting out. You may not have anybody under your belt that you've done anything with. They're just going to be like, oh, okay. Oh, you're a singer. That's amazing. Oh, sing something for me. You know, somebody will come up to me and say, sing something for me. And I go, no. But I can show you where my YouTube page is. Or I can show you where my Instagram page is. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. And they'll go and they'll check it out. But you don't got nothing on there, then they ain't gonna know. You know? Very important to put up content and put it up not only regularly, but have a schedule for it. It's really, really important. My other friend, Mare, she's really good at this too. And again, they don't be full out productions, but they be in your feed to constantly remind you, hey, I sing, and I sing well. You want that. You want that. The pictures are cute, you know. And I know, again, I'm speaking to myself about this as well. The pictures are cute. The geotags are cute. All the things are cute. But, and I just saw a picture of my, a video rather, of my friend Brandon the other day. And he was singing on stage with Tweet. Like, Tweet called him up and he posted it, right? And it's like, oh, it's lit, right? Because it's like, your content is consistently affirming who you are and what you do. It's not just you and your bio. It's seeing in action, oh, this person is a professional singer and I see why. I get why. I understand why. Yeah. Content. It is important. My eyes are all over the place. I'm looking at the camera, then I'm looking up because the camera's typically there, then I'm looking over here, then I'm looking down, then I'm looking to the left. Guys, forgive my eyes, okay? Forgive my eyes, for they know not what they do. Anyway, content schedule. Okay, so this I kind of touched on earlier, but I kind of touched on it a couple topics ago, but I want to touch on it again. So, I kind of touched on it, but it's deeper. I want you guys to really grab this. So, sharpening your skill set. This is so important. And what I mean by sharpening your skill set, I say get around and learn from those who are better than you, those who are equal to you, and those who are not as good as you. You will learn something from all three people. Those who are better than you are going to push you. Those who are better than you, you're going to be like, ooh, what wrong was that one? Let me count the, oh man, I missed 2 notes. I got to go back and do it again. Or, okay, they did a trill. Man, because I naturally wouldn't do, when you start to practice and pay attention, and this just isn't for the vocal portion of it. This is for people who like have been in the game, got some skin in the game for some time, because you really can learn from them. But even just on a skill level, you want to be around people that are better than you, on the same level as you, and below you. The people that are better than you are going to push you. You're going to be like, man, they killed that. I need to kill it too. I am not killing it at all, right? And you might be killing it, but you know, it puts something in you. It inspires you to do and be better. The people that are on the same level as you, it helps you to have a camaraderie of folks that are going through the same thing that you're going through. You can see how they're doing something that's the same as what you're doing. They offer some perspective on, oh, okay, I do it this way. Oh, that's what you do? That's dope. Well, I was doing it this way. Oh, word, that's how you do it? And you grow. You can grow from that as well. Now, here's the one that people probably did not expect. The people who are not as good as you. You're like, well, what can I learn from somebody who sucks? Or what can I learn from somebody who is not as good as me? A lot. Because typically that person that is not as good as you knows it. And their work ethic is probably way more than yours. Their ability to probably, I'm going to say probably, because there are some folks that I've seen that have not been these people, but nonetheless, where they're like, oh man, I can't take this personal that they're critiquing me because they're actually better than me and I'm trying to get my game up. So I'm welcoming the critique. Like, I need to learn. So their skin is probably a little bit thicker. They're not comfortable. So you see a lot more things that they're doing that you may have done at one point, or you may not have done at one point, and you're like, dang, I need to step my game up. I'm telling you, you can learn from every area, but that specifically, if you start to really have a humble heart in understanding, like, yo, I can learn from, you can learn from kids. I teach music at a charter school, and I'll be learning from these children, okay? They wear me out, but I'll be learning from them. I'll be like, oh, so I can't talk to you that way. Okay. But okay, all right. So you can learn from anybody in any situation. And when you humble your heart in that way, you open yourself to a bunch more opportunities, as well as just learning. Like, all of this is a learning curve. And it's very important that you recognize that because then you'll be able to learn. The moment you're so stuck and you're like, you missed it, right? Oh man, this mic is taking my gloss off. That's why I reapplied. So yeah, a lot of times you'll just think, oh well, it's fine. I just need to get around the elites and the best. Yeah, that's helpful. It's always helpful to get around the elites and the best. The elites and the best also have people that they look up to as well. The elites and the best also understand that every opportunity is something to learn from. So, and if they don't, that's humility is the thing that they probably still haven't learned quite all the way yet. And you just don't want to be that person. You don't want to be learning this on the back end. You don't want to be learning this behind, like backwards, wrong. Because then it takes some unlearning, then it takes some humility, so yeah, get around people who are better than you, just as good as you, and not as good as you. You will learn from all three. I promise you that. Okay. And then the last thing. Oh my gosh, we made it to the end. The last thing that I have on here that is some of the first steps. So the fifth step on becoming a professional singer is to invest in yourself. What does that mean, Tanikka? Invest in myself. Does that mean that I go out there and I go on a shopping spree because I need to look like a superstar? Does that mean that I go out there and I shoot videos where I'm throwing 10K in the air? Does that mean that I need to... let me just stop, y'all. When I say invest in yourself, specifically as a singer, you want to take the time to really get not only good at what you do, but have things that are good or make you better at what you do so that you are optimally in the running. That was a well-constructed sentence off the top. You're optimally in the running. So, for example, I have in-ears, right? My company is Future Sonics, and I have custom molds of Future Sonics, and I'll have another one on the way. Why? Because it's really important that I protect my ears. It's also really important that I hear myself properly. It's also really important that I hear myself in my range. It's also really important that I invest in protecting my ears and getting the optimal value or the optimal benefits from products while I do my job. I have microphones. Even though one of my microphones just disappeared. My telephonic. Where is the mic? Like, I can't find it anywhere. All right, let me not get sidetracked. Microphones. You want to invest in things that you need, right? You want to invest in things that are going to make you better. You want to invest in things that are going to help you perform better, that are going to help you have an edge, that are going to help you sound good. So today, I don't even know if we're going to be able to get really good audio from this because, YouTube tried it. But yet and still, I wanted a really good setup for what we were discussing. I wanted the audio to be clear. I wanted things to run well. So I used my gear. I used my laptop. I used my interface. I used the microphone. I'm using all of these things, and I have these things. You want to be able to maximize off of things that are going to help you advance. So if that means that you honestly have to do a photo shoot, you should invest in it because you need professional pictures. You have to stand apart. And even if you're not getting, I can't even think of one famous photographer off the top of my brain right now. But insert famous photographer here. You can't get them to shoot you, but you can get somebody else to shoot you at a better rate, and they take really good photos. And you need these photos then do it, because it needs to be done. If you get one model microphone versus another one, because the other model microphone is $3,000, but this microphone, which is still a good microphone, is 300, then put that money aside and invest in yourself. Invest in what it is that you say you do professionally. And again, I hope that you guys are listening to what I'm saying, because while it seems like a lot of common sense, the stuff that I'm saying to you is so important to do as a professional, right? As a professional. You are on another level now. So you have to treat, move, act, and operate at another level. You are a professional. Do you think that, going back to the basketball athletes example, do you think that they're subscribing to Bobo sneakers that can trip them up, doesn't have any grip on the bottom, has them performing crazily because their ankles aren't supported? No, they're going to get them a good pair of sneaks. Right? They're going to get them something that's going to optimize their performance. Do you think that they're ingesting ridiculousness in their bodies? Probably so. However, they're not living off of that. There's times where they're like, all right, look, I can't do such and such. We got this game coming up. So this game is a major game. So for this next week, I got to cut out the carbs. I have to do such and such. I have to do blah, 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 blah. Why? Because they're taking their profession seriously. And it's the same for you. You have to invest in yourself. Invest in how you eat, right? And I'm not saying that everybody should be at Whole Foods buying $20 bread. Like, I'm not saying any of that. But what I am saying is figure out a way to sustain a healthy lifestyle, because you literally are what you eat. So if you're eating poorly, that weakens your immune system, which can in turn make you sick and you miss an audition, or you, even worse, miss a show. You don't want that. You want to be in optimal health. You want to study what are the things that help with voice care. Thistle's a good thing for voice care. Okay, maybe I should be doing sitting under steam after every show. Maybe I should be sure that I warm up pre-show, because I find that I'm straining and I'm doing all these other things that I don't have no business doing. I'm singing in the wrong part of my voice. You have to invest in yourself. Oh, you know what? I need to go get my ears cleaned out. I have to make sure I put some money aside from that. Like, I need to make sure that I take care of my body, because your body, just like an athlete, once that body is gone or down, it's down. It's gone until further notice. So you have to invest in yourself, and that just means eating better. It doesn't mean like I said, you don't have to live in Whole Foods, but you should figure out what it looks like to have a cleaner diet, a healthier diet. You should figure out what it looks like to have good ears, good molds, what it looks like to have and record on good microphones, what it looks like to, when you go and do a cover or a video, that you represent yourself in the best way. That means you might have to get you a laptop or get you something that you don't have, so that you can execute on a different level. I hope that this all helped, okay? I hope that... Oh, really? I hope that... I was just reading a comment that somebody left. I hope that this has helped you. I hope that you take heed to it. And I hope that you go back and watch this again and really, really take notes. Because I took notes to give notes. And while, like I said, some of these things seem like no-brainery, I didn't know some of these things starting out. And I didn't do some of these things starting out. Like, I wasn't having any practicing schedule. I wasn't really, content wasn't as big when I first came out. But I wasn't worried about half of that. And honestly, if it was, I probably wouldn't have been doing it anyway. I wasn't setting up my business properly. Like I wasn't setting up the LLC. I wasn't setting up no bank accounts. Like I wasn't moving as smart because I was really, really young. So, and being really young, I wasn't, I was just used to like, okay, this is what it looks like in corporate, and I didn't take the mindset of corporate and apply it to singing and what that looked like. And so I had to play catch up and be like, oh my gosh, I can do all these things. I can do such and such. I can do blah, 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 blah. And I really want that for everyone because you can have it. You really, really can. So I really, really hope that you got something from this. I hope you got a lot of somethings from this, honestly. And I hope that you really, more so than getting something from it, actually apply it. Even if you are a singer that's been singing for some time, and I'm talking about whatever kind of singer, whether you are in a church, whether you are in a wedding band, whether you are in a cover band, whether you have a residency at a restaurant or hotel, or whether you're singing on the corner and you collecting tips. I really hope that you start to apply, number one, the first thing, which is that mindset, because that really is going to change the trajectory of how you do singing. And the moment you change your mindset is the moment you change how you move and how you do anything going forward as a singer. And that's crucial because that's what's going to set you up. That's what's going to set you also apart. I have a lot of friends or people who I started out singing with who didn't get into the music industry, and not for a lack of trying or not because they didn't want to. They just didn't take themselves as seriously as a professional singer, and or they took for granted little opportunities, and so from there they didn't and couldn't grow. And I just don't want that for any singer under my care or who's listening to me. So yeah, all summer I'm trying to hit y'all with a bunch of lives. It just gives me like, because I'm gonna be on here tomorrow. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be on here tomorrow as well. And I honestly plan, I was scared to even say it, but I have to say it now, but I do plan to do a live every single day and kick you guys information. And honestly, like, this is free game, y'all, free info. Like, I would absolutely sign up for what I'm telling y'all, because this is just, I had to like lay a foundation. This is just the basics of the foundation. We're only going to get and grow more and more and more. There's just so many different things that I have to impart on you, and you just, yeah, there's so much. So I don't want to like give so much away like right now or get everybody all like, but just know that like I'm trying to kick y'all some info. I want y'all to win, and I'm not saying I'm the winner of wins, right? I'm not trying to say that. What I'm saying is I have been blessed to do what it is that I am doing. Yes, I have, this is the first time I can say like, I don't have any other jobs. This is all that I do. I do have other jobs, and they're all still music. It's all still singing, right? I'm a worship director. I'm actually a music program director as well, but we're still working on that program. But so I'm a teacher, a music teacher, but I developed an entire program for these kids to be able to do at a charter school. But nonetheless, all of this is still under being able to do music and do music full time. And ironically, I have them all under my different LLCs because I'm not an employee. I work for myself. Like I've been contracted to do these jobs. So you can do it. You have to think creatively. You have to move creatively. You have to change your thinking. This was like the first step in wanting to change your thinking, but we're going to approach success and what that looks like and what you think success is and how to move in that as a singer. So I would say if I were to speak for myself and say for myself, do I think I am a successful singer? I think I could confidently answer that with a yes. And even though a lot of things have morphed over time, especially due to COVID, I'm still awarded the opportunity to do what I love and do what I am purposed to do as a singer. And not a lot of people are able to do that, even in different capacities. So would I say I am a successful singer? Yes, I would say I am a successful singer because I am able to still be contracted and doing different things regarding singing. And even though, you know, I don't have a Beyonce title, if you will, and I'm only using Beyonce because everybody knows who Beyonce is. But even though I don't have that Beyonce title and I'm just not all over the world, well, I actually have been all over the world, but as Beyonce, if you will, it doesn't negate the fact that I have had a successful singing career, and I'm so grateful for that. And with that being said, I want you all to be able to have one as well. I want you all to be able to recognize good opportunities, recognize things that you need to be doing, things that you could be doing, things that you could be doing better, and really maximize off those opportunities and allow for them to benefit you and work for your good. So, yeah. Like I said, I hope you got something from this. I will be back tomorrow. I will kick it off on Instagram. I'm typically on Instagram. I was going to be on Instagram at noon, but I think I'm going to be on Instagram at 3. I have to figure it out. But yeah, I'll be on Instagram first, where we kick off the topic. You could find Instagram, or find me on Instagram at the background view, because that's actually where I will be coming live on at the background view, which is the background view, VU. And you can follow me there. You can follow me at Tanikka Charraé, TANIKKACHARRAE. That's my personal page. But the background view is where I'm kicking and dropping all this information. Honestly, I would suggest that you follow both, because I give a lot of information on both pages. The background view, I'm just working on really just engaging with more folks there and just getting more singers in my Rolodex again. You know, I took a little bit of a break just because COVID hit and there just wasn't a lot of work out there at the time, and a lot of people who already were getting a lot of gigs and who do gig and who are in the industry already, they were getting called for a lot of gigs, so there wasn't a lot of need for fresh blood and fresh singers. But the background view it's a great resource. And even just in the vein of information, I really want to give you guys info, and I really want you guys to win. So I pray that you take this information and really apply it, like for real, for real. So yeah, that's it. That's all that I got. I will see you all tomorrow, both on Instagram, both on YouTube. What was I thinking? Doing so many lives. Oh my gosh. All right. Peace.